Everyone, we're doing jury selection at 11:30. Everyone, your paperwork needs to be turned in by 11:15. If it is not, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be called back, and it'll probably be a time that's inconvenient to you. Not that we're purposely trying to make it inconvenient for you, but that's what will end up happening. And there are a lot of people on this first row over here. If you did not come in late, you should not be on that first row. If you were late, you need to be on the first row. Court is calling 2023 CR 11289, State of Texas versus Jorge Sandoval. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
David Garcia, attorney for Jorge Sandoval, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Sandoval?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have and we have here.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Sandoval, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial? Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. State recommends community supervision. This will run concurrent with County Court Cause number 717410. They're taking in consideration 2024 CR 0293. You are to forfeit the weapon from County Court Cause number 717410. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 100 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Conscious.
State, any evidence?
Your Honor, I offer State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and court will review the same. Reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, my client made some mistakes, but he's hoping to prove himself if you go through with this plea bargain, so that he can become a viable member of our society and not have any further problems.
All right, and what happened with the stolen vehicle that's listed in the police report?
He wasn't charged with that, Judge.
Okay. All right, do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
7, 12, and 15.
When's the last time you had contact with them before being taken into custody?
Since I've been incarcerated,
All right. And how long has that been?
like 4.5 months.
All right. When's the last time you had employment before being arrested?
So I was employed,
Doing what?
construction.
How often are you using drugs before taken into custody?
Just recreational, like,
People usually don't do meth recreationally. So how long were you using drugs? And let me just tell you, I'm asking you these questions so I can give you conditions that will help you be successful. If you're dishonest with me, I'm going to go by whatever you tell me, even though I may know it's dishonest. And guess what? I will send you out into the world without any treatment. You will test positive for drugs and you will come back to me and you will say on your motion to revoke, I have a drug problem, but I'm going to write down on this docket sheet whatever you tell me. So how often have you been using meth before you were taken into custody?
like years.
Hmm?
As in years,
No, I mean, how often per week? How often per day?
like 3, 4 times a week.
And if you're released today, do you have a place to live?
Yes.
Who would you be living with?
My family, my parents.
Do they want you there?
Yeah, it's my house too.
No, I mean, people will say with my parents, but they never ask. They just assume that parents will accept them.
Saying that, yes.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 5 years in prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. This is run concurrent with County Court Cause number 717410. There's to be a TAP evaluation in custody and a felony drug court referral in custody. Follow recommendations. With regards to felony drug court, they'll probably be able to see you. Today is Tuesday. They'll probably be able to see you this week. You need to be honest with them. It's a good program. They'll be able to help you. But if you're dishonest with them, they're not going to accept you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. The UA hotline until further notice. Proof of employment within 45 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Visits 1 time per month until in treatment. 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to require parenting classes. Once he completes parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied, and there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Once you're sober, the court will reconsider that. And he's to forfeit the weapon. And County Court Cause number 717410. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Judge.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Is there any gang issues with you?
No.
All right. And I'm sorry, probation, could you do a gang evaluation as well? All right. In this courtroom, communication is key, especially when you're on probation. If there's an issue you're having, contact probation. If you relapse, contact probation. Do not disappear. If you feel as though probation is not addressing your issue, you can always come back to court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How are you?
Hi, all right.
Have you ever had pneumonia?
No. Well,
Let me suggest that you not do it just to say you've had the experience.
I will say, I don't think I've ever had it, even as a child. But then I'm not good with illnesses. So I know I've been sick before and maybe I felt like pneumonia, but no.
It will give you a week off, which you'll spend in the hospital, being awakened every 2 hours to have your vital signs
They
taken.
do that, right?
Yeah. Now they put you on telemetry. so they can tell when you're asleep, so they know when to come to take your vital signs.
Okay. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 774, State of Texas versus Carla Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Bob Hicks, representing Ms. Garcia.
And are you Ms. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I do believe so.
Did you review the application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney? Did
Yes,
you
Your Honor.
understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your
And just so everyone knows, I don't have that document. The application.
Oh, I'm sorry, I need to fill that out.
All right, we'll have you fill that out after we finished. All right, Ms. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with theft under $2,500 enhanced? That's a
Yes,
state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's $1,000 fine and state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yeah,
State?
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
none, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, and no contact with HEB. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contender.
State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
We reviewed them, Your Honor. There are no objections.
All right, states, you may continue to confer. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. This unfortunate incident happened after she had a baby, and the state in its magnanimity had delayed getting her WIC benefits or anything, and she didn't have any money and needed to feed the kids and her pets. And she has learned her lesson, and I would hope that the court would go along with the state's recommendation and put her on deferred adjudication for a period of 2 years.
All right, why do you keep stealing?
I haven't stolen in a long time, Your Honor. I was just hard times, and at the time I actually was on drugs, but I'm clean now, so I have a clear mind.
All right, the whole thing where you're telling me I haven't stolen in a long time, that's not a good lead in. Because it appears that you keep going into places and taking things that don't belong to you. So why are you taking cosmetics from HEB?
I can't even recall what it was, Your Honor, to be honest with you. I was high at the time.
What drugs?
Heroin.
Okay. Do you have any children?
A 21-year-old. Yes, thank you.
All right, so what was,
17-year-old, and I had a miscarriage.
okay. If you're released, who would you live with?
I have my own apartment.
How long have you been in custody?
I've been in custody on the 20th. They brought me in. 19th to the 20th. I'm sorry.
When's the last time you had employment?
I've been employed off and on
When I say employment, I mean steady employment. I mean, you work
Steady
40
employment.
hours and you get a paycheck at the end of those 40 hours.
Like 2021, I was hosting at Real Cantina,
I'm sorry, what?
at Real Cantina as a hostess.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. There's $1,000 fine that'll be probated. And to the clerk, can you tell me what the court cost is for this?
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be no contact with HEB.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that means, I don't even think they have Handy Andy anymore.
Walmart, Judge.
Yeah.
About the only alternative.
Okay.
That's a ridiculous amount you pay at stop and go.
Yes. There's to be 120 hours of community service restitution that will not be waived. There's to be a referral to felony drug court and a TAP evaluation in custody. You need to be honest with felony drug court. You understand? Proof of employment. Within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Field visits 1 time per month until in treatment. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. And the UA hotline until further notice. To the clerk. All right, the court cost in this case is going to be $380 approximately. Will you be able to pay that on an installment plan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Probation, is there anything else she needs? Yes. So there's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Using drugs is never a good thing. Because you tell me you have children. They're old enough to know what's going on, right? And you don't want the last time you use to be the last time you use, because if the last time you use is the last time you use, you know what that means? That means that your body is going to be somewhere and somebody's going to have to identify your body. And I don't think you want your children, where's mom? And having your 21-year-old having to identify you. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Felony drug court is a very good program. You need to do your best to get in that program and be honest with them. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, if you're accepted into felony drug court, you will not be under the umbrella of this court for me on your day-to-day basis with probation. You'll be receiving probation conditions from them. Right. I know you can be successful at it. Once you graduate, you let me know you're graduating. I'll show up at your graduation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is there anything else?
Nope, that's all.
May we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.